I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from How Low Can You Go, Book 5 in the Do the Wrong Thing series. Last week, I nailed down the opening. Thanks for your help, everyone. Ava described her mental state at the beginning of the book, introduced her alcoholic lover, Greg, and her other confused and lost friends. Chapter 1, Olio, the last and first chapter, continued. A cold and slushy morning, standing outside a 7-Eleven. The sun warms Greg and I, but a frigid breeze negates it. We peel back the waxy wrappers of our burgers. I bite into mine, taste and smell pickle, meat and ketchup, sour, umami, sweet. Greg is wearing the heavy, expensive leather coat that June gave me in release, that I gave him, half hoping he'd inspire him to look after himself more. And I wear my motorcycle jacket, red plaid scarf, and docks. We are post-cool, counterculture. Yeah. I watch the gray slush that borders the parking lot ripple. There's so much of it, almost coming right up onto the sidewalk where we stand. Greg, Johnny, Carrie, and other nerd hangers-on go to a nearby pub more and more. By this time, Nerd barely pretends to be an art gallery, let alone a restaurant. There are Sharpie drawings and old pizza boxes on its walls. My sheet with donuts still hangs at the back beside the drum kit, but there hasn't been a music show in months. I'm not going to ask Johnny for my artwork back, partly because I'm afraid to upset him, and partly because my walls are full of new works. This pub, Mercy Street, is one of those cozy, pseudo-British establishments where everything's made of shiny wood and draft beers are served in mugs that look like oversized grenades with the tops lopped off. I like this place. It feels like home. I don't realize we're coming here because Johnny can't afford heat at Nerd. Where's your leather jacket? I ask Greg, heart sinking, when I meet him and Johnny at Mercy Street. He's wearing a jean jacket and a sweater. I sold it. What? Greg grins his defiant smile, tells me how he and his roommate Bob wanted to keep drinking the night before, so he sold the jacket, the one June gave me, to some stranger for $50. Another night at Mercy Street. Greg and I alone, I watch a group of leather-clad punks that have started coming in. I mostly gaze at a woman with white blonde hair, pulled up on the top of her head with tendrils falling down. She wears a ton of makeup, including red lipstick, and black lines above each eye that curve up and away. Her confidence, her beauty. She knows everyone is looking at her. I look away. She laughs and throws her head back. Later, one of the women's friends invites us to join her table. I sit beside her and she turns her luminous eyes with the black fringes and Cleopatra makeup toward me. I turn away. How does she walk around like that, looking like she does? All those men gawking at her, talking to her, all with the same idea of getting her into bed in their heads. I glance back briefly and mumble Ava in response to her question, then stare at my beer. My stomach, oh, it must be my womb, hurts. It's not as bad as the nurse told me it would be, merely a dull throb. And the rest of that section is the one about having the abortion, so I've moved it here. And then we go on to the next section. Greg, Johnny, myself, and a couple others at Mercy Street. Hey, Greg says, what's that? He reaches down and picks something up from right beside his foot, like right beside it. And when he holds it up, it's a $20 bill folded into a tight square. He grins at me. Something is off. John, Carrie, and the others look away or into their beers. I flicker a smile at Greg and then look at the square between his thumb and forefinger. Who folds a $20 bill like that? Odd. Odd. I told Ben to leave. Emily fast mumbles as we sit in her kitchen drinking Grand Marnier and Cointreau. I don't see Emily as much as I used to. She doesn't like Greg and doesn't like Nerd as much as I do. I lent him almost $1,000 to buy his drum machine and amp, but he still hasn't paid me back. Head down, she looks up at me with her serious green eyes through her luscious corkscrew curls. He says he's going to get a job, but he just doesn't. I nod, staring at the Ghastly Crumb Tinies poster on the wall behind her. The Ghastly Crumb Tinies, written and illustrated by a guy named Edward Gorey, is a darkly comedic poem that goes through the alphabet, describing how 26 children die. Q is for Quentin, who sank in a mire. Ben needs someone warm, someone like me. If Ben was with me, he'd get a job. I'd never lend him $1,000, though. I wouldn't lend anybody $1,000. All he did was mope around. He was always here. When I left in the morning, when I came back from work. If I stopped in for lunch, just lying around reading. N is for Neville, who died of ennui. I wouldn't care if Ben hung out at my place, and he'd get a job if he was with me. So at this point, I don't care. So at this point, if I don't get my money back, I don't care. Emily laughs. $1,000 is a bargain to be rid of him. F is for Fanny, sucked dry by a leech. I nod. The $20. Shit. I understand. Greg took it from my wallet when I went to the washroom. Greg. He stole from me. At Nerd, I follow Johnny upstairs, feeling the same as when he gave me permission to get my own beer out of the kitchen. Privileged. Anointed. I mean, I've been up here before, but that was straight to Johnny's room at the top of the steps for sex. This time we loop around and go down the hallway. Check it out, Johnny says as he pushes a partially open door wide. Ben, Carrie, and a couple other guys sit at a game board so large they've got 2 tables under it. Carrie looks up and smiles, a closed-lip grin. Ben stares at the board. They've been playing for a week, Johnny says. Ben moves a game piece, then looks up and smiles too. What's the game? I ask. Campaign for North Africa, Carrie says. It's my dad's. If this wasn't a Nerd, I'd sneer. The kind of game played by guys who wear pocket protectors and taped up glasses. Oi. Carrie's glasses are taped at the side. Ben stands. I notice an inch of blue striped pajamas sticking out the bottom of his jeans. I stare in awe. Who but Ben would wear pajamas under jeans? His fashion sense is beyond anything I've ever seen. It doesn't occur to me that he's wearing the pajamas for warmth. Carrie Jameson, boyfriend of Stevie or ex-boyfriend, it's hard to keep track, stands in my living room. Pale and delicate, with a slightly pointed chin breaking his well-defined jawline, he wears Malcolm X glasses held together, as I said, with tape. Did I invite him? I don't remember inviting him. He stares at me, his slight, usually shy smile now holding an assurance, a knowingness. I return the look. When he pulls down his jeans to fuck me, half on, half off the couch, I'm struck by how pale and childlike his legs are, glowing in the murkiness, no muscle tone. Carrie has disappeared a few times for 2-week stretches. Psych ward, Johnny says. It's impossible to picture gentle, acoustic guitar playing Carrie attacking people and smashing windows, but that's what happens, Johnny says.